What's up? We're back in the arena powered cube. It's live. I can't wait. Of course, we're playing best of three. Best of three is the place to be for the powered cube. We have the new updates. Let's see what we're rocking with here. As I said in my kind of overview, the 5 minute overview of what's changed, aggro is king. They've made the entire cube more aggressive, and I think a lot of the combo E cards are a lot worse. I see a booster tutor, which is obviously incredibly powerful. It can go in an aggro deck. It's just kind of like a catch-all good card. Skull Clamp, though, is Skull Clamp. And I don't like Booster Tutor, Blood Artist, and Thoughtseize all being in this pack. Goblin Bombardment's a super high win rate card, very strong. But I really like Skull Clamp, especially in aggro v aggro matchups where you can just run away with card advantage. It's also colorless, keeps me in a lot of things. And yeah, I like it. I think black's going to be very closed with Booster Tutor and Thoughtseize. Very clearly two of the best cards in this pack. Goblin Bombardment's very good. Sunfall's okay. 3 Steps Ahead's okay. And the rest is pretty mid. Skull Clamp it is for me. We want to see things with 1 toughness. We want to see white cards. We want to see a lot of things. Well, this is an interesting pack. We could say colorless. Copter's a good aggro card. Goes in any deck. Path to Exile is very good, though. Enduring Innocence is quite strong. Very good with Skull Clamp. You kind of want it to die. It's a lot harder to remove an enchantment than it is a creature. Brazen Bee goes well with Skull Clamp generally. I think I'm going to take a Path to Exile here. I want to be in white, and this is premium removal. And even if I don't end up in aggro, Path to Exile is going to make my deck. I'd say Path to Exile makes 100% of my white decks versus some of these other cards being only a certain percentage of the decks I make. Smuggler's Copter probably makes 100% of my decks, but I do want some direction here. I think passing Path to Exile is too clear of a signal. Whoa. What a pack. Deep Cavern Bat, excellent. Emperor of Bones, excellent. Teferi, 3 mana Teferi, excellent. Storm Chaser's Talent, pretty good before start here. Omnath is obviously a total winner for me, but I'm going to take Balance here. You really need a lot of interaction and removal to be able to play even kind of a control deck, and Balance is one of the cards that will do that. It can be a complete blowout on turn 2 even, just making your opponent discard their hand. Oh my goodness. Parallax Wave and Swords in the same pack. Ugh. I don't even know what's the right choice here. They're both so good. Parallax Wave after taking Balance is very strong. But wow, this is absurd. Pest Infestation's even a great pick with Skull Clamp, but at this point I'm all in on control. Parallax Wave's the better overall card, given what I already have. Path and Swords together, but I'm gonna take Swords. Swords is just so efficient, and if I want to be more than white, Parallax Wave being double white's a little bit. I mean, I don't love both of these being in the pack. This is tough, but I think Swords is just better in more decks. Into a whole bunch of weird stuff. I say weird, Gristlebrand and Torsten are both for the cheaty deck, which we're very far from. White is like the one color that doesn't really do that very well. Counterspell's good, but it's double blue. Kind of tempted to take Malcolm. It goes with Swords, blue-white control, or blue-white mid-range is really nice. Fire Covenant's great. We're seeing like all the board clears in this first pack. Tidebinder's good. Leyline Binding's okay. Liliana's okay. I'll take Malcolm. I think it's the most likely to make my deck, and it's just good. Couple lands here. A Flicker Wisp, a Memory Lapse, and Unexpectedly Absent, which I do enjoy. I'll take Memory Lapse. It looks like we're moving towards a dedicated blue-white control deck, and Memory Lapse is great in those decks, so directly into No More Lies. I like that a lot better than Leonardo Leader in blue. This is an aggressive card. Underworld Breach pretty late. Troll pretty late. This is a really strong card for Reanimator strategies. But No More Lies is a slam dunk in our deck. Oh my goodness. 8th pick, Force of Will. Alright, when I said that this was an aggro cube, I meant it. But that doesn't mean people should be avoiding these incredible picks like the Plague here. Dip into black. I'm really surprised to see a Thoughtseize wheel. This pack was not very strong the first time around. Could take Jace. We take 3 steps ahead. I mean, Jace with this start seems decent. I'm just really worried that it's going to be hard to keep a Jace on the board. I'm going to take 3 steps ahead, I think, as just another counter spell / interactive piece. Yeah, we're just getting everything for these like mid-rangey control decks. Very Mastermind solid. Goes well with Skull Clamp, Brazen Beast solid. All of these are really solid. I would put all 3 in my deck. They all work well with Skull Clamp too. I think I'm supposed to take Fairy Mastermind. And the reason is I'm going to be holding up counter magic often, and I'm going to want to be able to flash in my creatures. Brazen Bee is very close as well, but I like this as a way to be able to draw more cards off of it. Also comes down a turn earlier. Less likely I'm going to want to Petty Theft something on turn 2 versus play a Fairy Mastermind out. I could want to look at black simply for ninjas. Kaido was in a late pack. I don't think we're going to get the opportunity to wheel it. It would go really well in this deck, given that I already have Fairy Mastermind and Malcolm. Aang, Slam Dunk, no question about it. Daze, Free Roll. Okay, we're just... Nobody wants to play Control, which for the record, I think Control is a lot harder to pull off in this cube. But when you're getting 12th pick Daze, 11th pick Aang, 8th pick Force of Will, you're going to have an insane control deck, especially in best of 3, right? Like, combo or aggro decks are harder to pull off in best of 3 because I can sideboard in all of my removal even if I'm not playing it. I guess I'll hate Detectives Phoenix. I don't know. Like, look how early and interactive my deck is. Mana Drain, Lauren, Chrome Mox, Remand. I feel like this has got to be a Chrome Mox deck. I like Mana Drain, don't get me wrong. We don't use it the best, but we have no artifacts at the moment outside of Skull Clamp. And Chrome Mox being able to get us into a turn 2 counterspell that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to do sounds really nice. Yeah, I think that's got to be our pick here. All right, let's see what we're working with. Currency Converters, Dees. Mana Tives, so-so. Flage is a real consideration. It's kind of a house of a card. Go a little Jeskai. We all like a little bit of Jeskai. I've taken no lands. Flage is enough better than Manative and Currency Converter in this deck that I'm willing to hedge on it. Grim doesn't really work for us very well. Yeah, I'm going to take Flage. I think it's the best card by enough that I'm willing to give it a shot. And we're immediately getting past Time Twister, Fable, and Fiery Confluence, and a Hallowed Fountain, which I do really want. I'm going to take Fable, though. Fable is just such a house. Just does so much. I like Preordain, Hallowed Fountain. I honestly think some of these cards will wheel, even though they shouldn't. Glimmerwind will get taken. These green aggressive cards will get taken, and I'm going to get left with something I'm going to play pretty happily. Force of Negation now, quite a bit worse than Force of Will, given how aggressive everything is kind of slanting. Would have really liked to pick up a land here, honestly. This is like a pick where a fetch or my Triome would have been nice. I don't like Kitesail Arsonist very much. Force of Negation as a sideboard card is so strong, though, that I'm actually kind of okay with taking it. Maybe I won't mainboard it, but against the decks it's good against, it just destroys them. 4-mana 3/3 double strike. During your turn, you can cast creature spells with power toughness 1 or less from your graveyard. Enters with a finality counter. Whatever. Funny enough, we actually do have the cards for that. Malcolm, Fairy Mastermind are both castable off of that, but seems a little clunky when I could be taking Ponder or Mana Leak here. I'm feeling like I'm supposed to take Ponder, as I have no card draw at the moment, no hand selection, and my counter spells in Daze and Memory Lapse and Force and 3 steps ahead are pretty good already. Blue-black Verge, E-Tutor for Skull Clamp or Chrome Mox, no thank you. Pretty easy Elite Spellbinder if you ask me. I like it a lot better than Spyglass Siren, which I think is super mid. Elite Spellbinder does a lot. And it dies to Skull Clamp. Mentor, Snapcaster Mage, Mind Twist, a Braid. What don't I want? I mean, I think this has got to be Snapcaster with Sword and Path in the graveyard very easily. Really need some lands, but if we don't play red, I'll live. Miscalc now versus Flood Pit's Drowner. I don't like this card in Vintage Cube. Shuffling something away is often just too slow at the cost of shuffling this away. I'm going to take Miscalc. It's another Flash 2-1, don't get me wrong, but Miscalc's just good. Remand over Lauren. Yeah, just all the 2-mana counter spells. Every one we could possibly want. Alright, best cards we can see at this point. I would take my Triome really highly. I'll take a Flame Slash in case we do get the red support we need to be able to play red. It's a very good card. I mean, at this point, lands are like the best thing I can hit. Obviously, power would be nice, but if I can hit my lands, this is going to be great. We're in a full control deck. Hollowed Fountain Wield, that's way better than Time Twister, and Preordain's good, but I need to be able to hit my lands. And a blue land for days is very nice. There's a world where I play Larcenist. There's not really a world where I play Lotus Petal, I don't feel like. It's good with balance, I guess, but red-white dual land, potentially. If we get like a black-blue fetch, we get Polluted Delta, this gets this and untapped Hollowed Fountain, which is pretty nice. Black-white fetch is also decent because it gets Hollowed Fountain and this. Red-blue fetch or red-white fetch. Savai Triumph makes it so that multiple fetches become good for us. I'll take a Spyglass Siren. A last pick Aether Spellbomb. Nobody's on artifacts. Screw artifacts. What even is this? Oh, this is Umazawa's Jite, just in a format you can barely read it. Awesome. My Triome, but a Johnny. I think I have to take a Johnny with Skull Clamp and just the deck I have. Ragavan is good. I really want this Triumph. This Triumph's probably the highest, like, most impactful card for my deck. But a Johnny's so much better. And Triumph wheels, 60, 70% of the time in this pack. Ragavan, Shieldred, Jite, Workshop, Adeline, Ultima Get Lost. There's just so many good cards in this pack. JVP. That it should wheel a certain percentage of the time. A Johnny should never wheel. Candelabra, Elegant Parlor, Mystic Confluence, Pyroglyph. Wow, this is a pack. Elegant Parlor isn't blue. Apprehensive. Pyroglyph is kind of a card for us here. We do need a way to actually win the game, is one thing I'm looking at here of like, we don't have a lot of creatures, and the creatures we have aren't very powerful. Pyroglyph is a house. I'm going to take Pyroglyph. It's just, it does so much. And I think at this point, I'm dedicatedly playing red. So we just really need to make the, oh my gosh. There is Academy, but this is an easy Wooded Foothills for me over it. I mean, we have no artifacts really, but Wooded Foothills goes and gets Savai Triome at the moment, and we're actively looking for lands and fetches. There's an argument Starting Town might actually be better for us. Rare. I actually think Starting Town is better for us. We don't have a lot in the way of fetchable lands, and Wood Foothills is a very awkward fetch for us. So maybe that's the wrong choice. Of course, we get a Tropical Island, which makes it so that it would have been correct. But that's okay. DT. I mean, I think I'm not taking Trop, so what do I take here? This is a weird pack. I guess it's Lorien Revealed. It currently goes and gets Hollowed Fountain or a basic island, but it's also a blue card for my forces. Show and Tell is pretty darn far away, but Verge is very good. I could take Jack Faden as a artifact hate card. I like it. I don't like it. I think I'm supposed to take my Verge here. Be able to cast my spells a little easier. Red, black, green is about as far away as it gets. I'm actually going to take Soul Guide for the sideboard here. Everything else here is pretty replaceable. And this is not a Showdown of the Scalds deck at all. Chandra's good, but I think I take my Verge here over Brainstorm. I have no shuffle effects. I can path to exile my own creature. Okay, that is, and I have a Lorien revealed. Cool. I'm taking a Verge. Yeah, Brainstorm is not the pickup here. Fallen Shinobi's great, but we are very far from being able to cast it. VV Volcanic. Ah, VV's so good in this deck. But Volcanic is I feel like, must pick here. Yeah, I think I have to take Volcanic, actually. I just have to be able to cast my spells, or I will not be able to play the game. It's a tough pass, but... Alright, what are we wheeling? We wheeled our Triome. Everything is good. The world is good. Okay, we have fixed our land issues by a mile. Mystic Confluence, some top-end counter magic. DRC is really good in this deck. We have much better lands now. I think it's supposed to be DRC over a really expensive counterspell when we have such good counterspells already. Displacer Kitten for blinking. Pyrogoyf, Spellbinder, Fable, Ang, a Johnny. There's a world where I include it. I don't think I do, but FOMO is great now. Glorybringer could be of a move, but I like FOMO better. It's cheaper. Oh, wow, we wheeled the DAC. That shouldn't happen. What a gift. I'm not playing Cut Down. Last pick, Brainstorm. Okay, so people are actively avoiding playing control decks in blue. I understand. Red got a lot better. Aggro got a lot better. These control decks look a little bit suspect, but I mean, you just can't be passing those things. So, Chromok count as a land, obviously. Do a quick Skull Clamp count. How many things actually are Skull Clampable immediately? Is it good enough? I mean, a Johnny alone feels like it makes it good enough. And then for non-Skull Clampable, but creatures that are high targets that need to die. So, like, you can just equip Skull Clamp to make it really awkward for your opponent because they need to remove it. But then you draw 2 cards when you do. Yeah, our creature curve is actually not too bad either, right? Like our permanence curve, I guess, is like one way to view it. Like things are going to play out on curve, assumably. And then our removal is just absurd. I mean, all right, let's put things a little bit back how they were. Lorien Revealed is basically a land. I wish I could control select this like group of 2-drops and move them all together like on MitGo, but that's okay. Move everything over. I don't believe 3 steps ahead is good enough to main board. It just is so much slower than everything else we're doing. We need to cut, let's see, we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 lands here. We need to cut 2 lands. Yeah, blues are most, but like all of our lands are blue. Actually, every land is blue, but Savai Triome, which is a red-white tapped land. Okay. So I think a Plains is absolutely getting cut. Should probably be a mountain. Okay. So that fixes our lands issue because we can go get Hall of Fountain with Lorien Revealed along with all of our Triome. So the question is, what's our last 2 cuts? I feel like it's gotta be Displacer Kitten, right? It's just too... we don't have any combos with it per se. I mean, it's great with Pyrogoyf. Just killing your opponent is always good. But yeah, Displacer Kitten seems like it's a sideboard card for a more control-y kind of matchup. I could take out Tidebinder, but it just has so many good targets in every game, in my opinion. Like, you can prevent fetch lands. You can just do so much with it. So many key triggers you want to stop. I'm mainboarding Balance for sure. With how good all my removal is, I could take out Flame Slash. I already have Swords and Path and Pyrogoyf, and then just a slew of what's it called? Counter magic. That's tough though. Snapcaster is instant or sorcery. Really tough last cut here. Yeah, I think my last cut's gonna be Flame Slash. I might bring it back in, but this seems like the deck for me. A little bit of Jeskai control. Still has a lot of beaters, honestly, even being so controlling, but I imagine a world where we're just going to get into a point where we resolve one really good creature and then we just don't let our opponent have a creature for the rest of the game. So that's the game plan. Best of 3. Let's jump right in. And by the way, if you're not subscribed, would really appreciate it. We're making our way till 250, at which point I'll do another cooking video, hence the whole chef getup. So let's jump right into our first game. Jeskai. Can it hold up in this aggro meta? Going second, not a good sign. We have no blue in this hand, because this taps for red until we control an island or mountain, and I don't like this hand at all. So mulligan, easy keep, putting back basic plains, since Verge will tap for white. I guess it should be basic island. Do we have anything double blue? I don't think we have anything double blue or double white. I'll put back basic plains. I don't think it matters too much. And we'll play Volcanic turn 1 here. Oh goodness, right into a Mox. Okay, well. Probably bringing in Dak Faden already. Hopefully they're not actually green with this and they're just using it as a Mox. Okay, into a turn 1 wheel. Okay. This is arguably a better hand, and I'm a big fan of that. Here's a Johnny. And we have days to protect it. Cool. Let's see how this rolls. I mean, I don't know if it was really arguably a better hand. Pyroglyph's very strong. But we didn't really have a good turn 2. You know, Fear of missing out. Well, I can't daze that. But Johnny's already a 2-for-1 now. And we have such good removal. Ragavan. Not dashed. Sure. Into a Thoughtseize. Sure. I mean, I'm not dazing a Thoughtseize that they can pay for. They're either going to take Swords or Path, and then I'll use the other one on Ragavan. I assume. This is quite the wheel into... Oh, they have an Entomb they discarded. Interesting. Well, that's quite the top deck. I will just play a Flage. Thank you very much. Deal 3 damage to this Ragavano. And I have more than enough of the cards in my graveyard to play it next turn. And we have red, red, white, white. So that is the double white card, is Flage, technically. Good to note for future mulliganing decisions. Alright. Shockin'. Hollowed Fountain. Go straight to combat. See what they want to do. They have 5 mana up. I have a No More Lies and a Daze. Alright, I'll bite. I have Daze protection, so I'm feeling pretty okay. I have a Dragon's Rage Channeler, so I do want to keep myself in the ability to play it with all the things. But I do want to be really cautious about them having a Reanimate and reanimating my stuff. So I think it's actually better for me to just eat all of my creatures this way. Deal never to 3 damage face. And they could have a removal spell for this, which I don't really care if they do. I will very soon have the cards in my graveyard to recast it. It's 5 cards? Yeah. So if I daze something and then I can't, play one of these other cards, I'll have the counters. I'll have the cards in graveyard. Huh. Well, I'm just going to go straight to combat. They are dead on board, and I would like to keep up all the counter magic. Bonk. Go to damage. You're dead on board. Okay. We'll take it. This is why we dipped into red, by the way. If you were questioning it, we were in blue-white control, and we dipped into red for exactly this. All right. Ragavan. Entomb. A lot of cheap removal. A lot of cheap removal that cannot... Oh, it can hit a Planeswalker Shieldred's Edict. Force of Negation seems pretty good on the draw here against this kind of deck. Soul Guide Lantern seems great. What seems less exciting? We saw nothing with really the triggered abilities for Tishana's Tidebinder. I might bring it back in, but it seems a little weaker against them. Flame Slash, we didn't really see a good target. Ragavan's a good target, but yeah, maybe that's worth it. Just Ragavan. Skull Clamp seems like it's gonna do some work. Don't really seem like they have a lot of ways to deal with that. A lot of regular destroy a creature kind of effects. Doesn't seem like a good deck for Aang Swift Savior, simply because a lot of the things we would be exiling, they just can recast very cheaply. You know, they're not worried. It's not like they're investing a lot to put something on the stack and then we bounce it. You know, actually, I'm feeling like Skull Clamp comes out. Yeah, I think this is not a Skull Clamp matchup, now that I think about it more. They're just going to be able to remove too much stuff. Alright, this seems like fun. A little bit of on the draw, bringing in our Graveyard Hate. We only saw the one artifact, so I'm not feeling like Dak Faden needs to come in. It's not very good against them if they don't have lots of artifacts. Chrome Mox to give us blue for Malcolm. And a starting very removal-centric hand. Yeah, I like this. It's a little bit susceptible to Thoughtseize, because they could take the Chrome Mox or the Malcolm, and then I don't have blue. But we have good fixing, so feel a little better about that. Damn it. They might take Soul Guide Lantern if they took a really aggressive Reanimator hand, but Chrome Mox is absolutely the right take here 90% of the time. Yep. And I am going to just play the Soul Guide Lantern out to prevent them from doing anything shenanigans with quick reanimates. I don't want to give them a turn to Entomb reanimate something when I don't have Soul Guide out. We've seen Entomb, so they have something like that in their deck. They could play Mox Wheel here. I would love that. Put my Flage in the graveyard, please. Blue Source is great. I really don't want to use this Soul Guide Lantern to draw, but seems like they're content to chill, and since I'm missing a color, I'm content to chill as long as they are. Entomb, sure. I have Path to Exile now too, so that really helps. Emrakul. That... Okay. Emrakul doesn't work because it's on cast. It just has protection from instants, which is really bad if they reanimate it. I don't think I'm supposed to get rid of this immediately. I'm supposed to make them first try and do something. Exile each opponent's graveyard, please. And I have no creatures in my graveyard. Okay. What's going on over there? Last card, Dark Ritual. So they're on like a Turbo Reanimator deck, but we absolutely destroyed them with a Soul Guide Lantern include on the best of 3. Cool. Moving on. I'm just gonna put it out there. If that was your hand when you Thoughtseized me, you needed to take Soul Guide Lantern. I think you win that game if you take Soul Guide Lantern there, let me Chrome Mox and do stuff, and then you just reanimate an Emrakul that has protection from instants. My outs are exactly Balance, which you don't even know I have. And do I have any other outs in the deck? I'm trying to think. I really don't think I do have another way to deal with it. Parallax Wave would deal with it, but I didn't take that. I took Swords, which argument for Parallax Wave, but I think Swords is right. Especially now that I have a Snapcaster Mage. Hello, Snapcaster Mage. This is a pretty great hand. Don't love being on the draw, but see what we're dealing with here. Turn 1 Exploration. Okay, we're bringing in Force of Negation. Into Second Forest Mana Dork. Sylvan Safekeeper. Cute. Razor Pyre Verge. Here go. You have a way to play lands from graveyards. Ruminap Excavator got removed. So it's Crucible or Bust. Okay. And then we're out of things to do. Lotus Cobra? Yeah, you can have 1,000,000 mana, dude. I just don't care. I have a Memory Lapse for whatever they play, and then a No More Lies to follow it up. Uh-huh. Immediately into Crucible of Worlds. Well... I'm almost certain I'm supposed to Memory Lapse this no matter what, because I want it to be their top deck. The question is next turn what I do. Because I can't No More Lies it. Oh, they won't have a land drop, so I will be able to No More Lies it. So I can play Ponder. Do I like this hand? I like these cards. A Johnny's okay. I think I'm supposed to shuffle this. And just draw a land. Yeah, that's fine. Say go. Let him replay Crucible. Take a number 3. And then next turn we'll be holding up Snapcaster plus either Memory Lapse or Crucible. Or Memory Lapse or No More Lies. And we've permanently dealt with Crucible. And I'll be able to stop the bleeding as well with a Snapcaster Mage in play. This gives Shroud, so it can't be targeted. Marsh Flats, doesn't matter. I'm absolutely killing Sylvan Safekeeper on the attacks here with our Fairy Mastermind. I don't want them drawing, but I am going to kill off Lotus Cobra. And then we're going to play a Johnny. Do I play a Johnny? We give them one shot to draw something here. If I do. No, I think we wait one more turn. I'll be able to shock in Hollowed Fountain next turn. But this guarantees that they can't draw something and play it because I'll have a Memory Lapse. At the very least, it gives me an extra turn. Go and get a Triome, not a Surveil land. Interesting. Gives them black, which they currently don't have. Except for off of Starting Town. Yeah, I'm gonna... Interesting, that's really annoying. I can't, what's it called? No More Lies it, so I have to Memory Lapse it. Which does let them redraw it next turn. I can make them sack a land to protect Sylvan Safekeeper. But I think here I'm supposed to just play a Johnny, an Elite Spellbinder, and start getting in for damage. Because Grist does not answer this board. I just have too many things. And I'm going to play this tapped. I do not care about half to exiling. I know what they're drawing next turn, but 2 life is more important to me. If they want Grist to live, they're going to have to... Whoops, they accidentally down-ticked instead of up-ticked, but Grist is not sticking around either way, so I don't really think it makes a difference. Force of Will is a nice draw. Next. This actually does more damage, as if I swing a 1-2 and a 2-1 at Grist. I should swing Snapcaster at Grist and this at their face. This makes it so I do 5 damage to them and guaranteed kill the Grist. And then we're holding up Force of Will next turn as a hard cast. They obviously don't want to take Sylvan Safekeeper off the board because it just does nothing. Pass. Yeah, we're blue-white controlling them straight through this game. Haven't played a red spell. Don't need to. Oh, well. That's quite the red spell that they don't know I have. Swing face. They go to not dead to Flage range. So I'm just going to hold up Force of Will again. And they concede. Okay. I don't think them upticking the Grist makes too big of a difference there. But Grist is a creature on the stack. Or Grist is a creature on the stack, so I can't Force of Will it. Or Force of Negation it. I can Force of Negation Crucible. And Exploration. The thing is, it's very clearly they're like a graveyard land strategy. So I want Soul Guide Lantern again. Soul Guide Lantern's pretty great against them. Force of Negation seems pretty decent. What doesn't seem very good? Aang seems pretty good. Tidebinder shuts off Grist and Lotus Cobra. Yeah, that's pretty okay. Miscalc might be awkward just because of its restriction. They're going to be running a lot of mana acceleration. For the same reason, so is No More Lies. But it was pretty good there, so maybe I keep it in. They're not killing my stuff. I'm going to cut Skull Clamp again. It's kind of funny I keep cutting it, but it just isn't the right deck for it. This does remove an artifact, but it's not very effective at it. Yeah, I like bringing in Soul Guide and Force of Negation here on the draw, for sure. Really solid so far. Jeskai control. They haven't seen a red card yet, so they don't actually know why we're red. Chrome Mox into a premium 3-drop? Sure. We don't have to play the Chrome Mox right away. I don't want to give them a target for a disenchant. You know, Pest Infestation, Bozeshu Who Endures. I'll play the Plains. I'm not going to play the Chrome Mox. Probably supposed to exile the Swords with the Chrome Mox, funny enough. Because it means I'll be able to immediately use Aang Swift Savior or Tashana's Tidebinder, which are much more relevant creature threats. Let's see what they're doing here. Pass, pass. Xander's Lounge. A little domain action. A little Omnath. See what we're doing here. Sylvan Safekeep. Do I want to make them spend their whole turn on that? Yeah, probably. If I do it while it's in play, they get to sack a land, and if they have a way to bring a land back, it's really annoying. Yep, they replay it. Have to exile is not what I want to see. I can turn off Sylvan Safekeeper permanently by targeting something with Path to Exile. They protect it, and then I flash into Shauna's Tidebinder, countering the protection effect. They then have to sack another land to protect the thing for Path to Exile, and Sylvan Safekeeper no longer has abilities. Could be good. Really depends on what they do here. Okay, they are going to make my job a lot easier. No triggered ability to counter. And I would like to just eat your Sylvan Safekeeper, please. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Palantir. That's fun. I'm going to have them mill because I'm at 20. So let's see what they do. Haven't seen anything big yet, but, you know, they're a green deck. They could easily be natural ordering, you know, have 8 drops, 9 drops, but at 20 life, 1 mil, I can't die. So, 2 to the top, huh? I will lose life equal to 1. My turn. Fairy Mastermind's another nice draw. We're getting close to being able to flip Aang. Aang flips for 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll have 9 in play next turn. Problem is I'm continuing to attack, because attacking's good. They're pretty far from that. I'm going to lose life again here. I could also play Fairy Mastermind and have them draw. So I'm going to play Fairy Mastermind, because if they draw, I draw. Ain't that something? Into Consult the Star Charts, not kicked. So they just get 1 card off the top 5. Probably looking for an instant speed way to deal with Fairy Mastermind, so I can't have them draw a card here. To the bottom. You draw a card, I draw a card. Cool. My turn. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can give up dealing 5 damage to them to deal 4 damage here and flip Aang. Yeah. So I deal 1 less damage, but then everything of mine has a 1/1 counter and Aang is flipped. Easy peasy, man. On to round 3. Alright, round 3, going for the 3-0 on our first draft. 3-0, 6-0, mind you, if we do it right. Although I'm already content. 2 wins is usually what I'm going for here. This is a 4-fun format. This deck definitely can do it. We've gone second every game. Turn 1 Triome into No More Lies or FOMO. Yeah, this has got to be a keep. See what we're working with here. I would love to see a more controlling matchup for once. If I can be so lucky. Nope. Aggressive green deck. Okie dokie. Well, I'm still playing this Triome over a turn 1 Ponder. Get my red down. Play FOMO. Straight into Fable. Yuck. Okay. Verge. I think I gotta do FOMO here as a blocker for this, whatchamacallit, and I need to get a land out of my hand. To another land. Okay, okay. Oh, man. We have Tidebinder for the Fable once it's flipped. And next turn we'll be able to just be holding up mana. Discard nothing. It's a terrible sign for me. Well, you got removal for FOMO, get your treasure off the goblin. Tireless Tracker. I can Tidebinder that. Mishra's Workshop. Okay. We got brew going on here. Greaves. Equip the Greaves to Tracker. Very cute. I'll trade. Huh. I'm gonna block like this. Take that off the board. And then we're gonna be holding up Tidebinder to prevent triggers from its ability. We do really need to find a way to deal with reflection, but okay. Yeah, I have to No More Lies that. Okay, well that changes my turn quite a bit. This doesn't work with reflection, though, so I guess we get a free turn here. I could shock in a Hollowed Fountain to Ponder. I think I'm supposed to shock in a Hollowed Fountain so that I can hold up second No More Lies and Tidebinder. I could also Elite Spellbinder here, but that seems super risky. I'm going to shock, and we'll hold up Snappy and Tidebinder and see what gives. My guess is they're going to try and do Reflection of Geeky Jeeky things. Strip mine. Huh. That's a problem. That's a problem for a lot of reasons. So I could counter this and just turn off Tireless Tracker for good. But then Reflection gets to stick around, which is not good. I think I have to let this resolve. I'd be shocked if they don't immediately strip mine me first. Take me off a mana. But then they have to do stuff post-combat. I'll float a mana no matter what they pick. We don't lose our red because we have the Triome. This is what we have to counter. Because it turns off the Reflection as well. And even if they kill the Tidebinder right here, it still counters the activate ability. So they can strip mine me. And then next turn... I mean, they may be really awkwardly mana'd here because of this Mishra's Foundry, honestly. Yep. Tidebinder currently blocks Tracker. I know what I'm not bringing in. They're not strip mining me? What? What are you doing, opponent? Alright. I'll take my kill on Reflection. I think I just have to do this. And I'll ponder, see what we hit. Chrome Mox. Swords, Aang Swift Savior, creature or spell. All of this does really poorly into a Lightning Greaves. So I'm going to say no thanks to all of it. Shuffle and draw. Draw the Aang anyway. Why not? Play a tapped land. This is whenever this creature attacks. So even though I have Delirium, I would be trading FOMO for 6 damage. And also not being able to block Tireless Tracker seems bad. They kept Strip Mine because they're super mana tight. So I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to Elite Spellbind or something here. Or flash in Snapcaster to... Yeah, we're still struggling. I mean, I guarantee you I lose the game if I don't counter the sneak attack. Seems very much like that's what's going on here. Hey, another card for Flage. Thanks. Offering the trade? Sure, this gets me my Flage back even if they have a instant speed trick here. Like a Lightning Bolt. I'm very happy to trade off these things when I have a Flage in my graveyard. Yep. Volcanic Island is very nice. I could Elite Spellbinder here. I could just hard do the Flage. But I think I'm supposed to hold up Aang Swift Savior and Snapcaster this turn. I just feel like they're drawing a land. Let's see what they do. Yeah, I have no more lies in the graveyard for Snapcaster Mage. Or I could just Aang Swift Savior or something. Pretty happy about doing that. Gang Aang in play. Eternal Witness. Returning Strip or Fable or something. Alright. I'll pull the trigger on Snappy Bee here. Because it unlocks me being able to do other things. Get that out of my way. I'm going to Elite Spellbinder next turn. Anyway. Get a look at the hand. Get rid of the biggest threatening thing. Okay. They have 3 mana. pretty far from doing any of this stuff. I think Generous Plunderer is the no-brainer take. And I'm supposed to just get in for 2. Let's put the heat on. I have Aang Swift Savior for Vakavu. And then I'm going to Flage their face, and the beatdown is going to start very quickly. Chromox don't matter. Is this another spot where I could flip Aang Swift Savior and that's actually better? It is, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 8 to flip him? 1, 2, yeah. Warbend everything but the Aang. And then swing with the Aang and put a counter on everything. And now they're on a 1-turn clock, and I know every card in their hand but the one they just drew doesn't deal with it. Territorial Kavu doesn't deal with it. Land almost certainly doesn't deal with it. They have 7 mana for artifacts, or 4 mana for something else. So they could play Generous Plunderer. But that even taps elves. They're so far dead. Sure. And then you move the Greaves onto it so I can't target it. No? Okay. I mean, I have a Flage face up. So it doesn't really matter what you do here. Uh-huh. Blow up the Plunderer. Gain 3. Swing for lethal. Alright. Control is doing control things. They are a very board-heavy red-green beatdown deck. Absolutely bringing in Flame Slash. Force of Negation seems really awkward against them. It's great for exactly the Greaves, and we've seen Fable. Feels like it has the potential to be really awkward, though. Greaves against us is really good, but I don't want to play Dak Faden or Force of Will to be able to deal with a Greaves. That seems bad for me. Elite Spellbinder is usually pretty bad in these type of matchups. It's too slow by the time it comes down, and then making something cost 2 more just doesn't really matter. It's good against Sneak Attack. Oh wait, they had Sneak Attack. I have to bring in Force of Negation and take out Elite Spellbinder. What other card do we not want? Skull Clamp? Playing against green-red, they tend to have ways to deal with Skull Clamp. I feel like I've taken Skull Clamp out every game, but it's just not been good in the matchups. We haven't faced like a pure board-based aggro deck where I want to be brawling for land, for card advantage with them on the ground. All right, let's see if we can do the 3060 here. I have a good feeling about this matchup. Let's see what we're doing here. Obviously, we're on the draw again. I mean, Ponder, Path to Exile. I go first? Yeah, I'm definitely keeping this hand then. And I'll turn 1 Ponder. Any 2 or 3 drop. Balance. Memory Lapse. I mean, I think I'm supposed to keep this. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to keep this and just say go. I mean, yeah, it's an extra land, but Balance Memory Lapse is fantastic. We have a Path to Exile to deal with. Other things. Path to Exile is actually pretty funny against them. Because they'll go get a land, but then I'll make them sack lands with Memory Lapse, or with Balance later. But for now, I'm just going to hold up Memory Lapse. Nope. I don't want you to play that. Thanks, no thanks. And now you can't play a fetch. Birds, sure. I'm just gonna chill. If they go like creature here, I'm just gonna balance. You play Psychoth Club, you go ahead. Sure. Okay. No matter what, I'm discarding an extra card here. So we're gonna balance them, play Mountain, play FOMO. So I'm gonna have to discard 2 cards, which is land, Path to Exile. And they lose their board. 3 cards to keep. These ones, please. And I'll play FOMO, discarding nothing. Oh! It's a must! Oh no! My Pyroglyph. What have I done? What have I done? Oh no. Well, we have Path to Exile at least. That was brutal. I forgot FOMO's a you must discard. And of course we top deck Force of Negation. Ugh. Alright, well, that was a misplay. But I have Recasting Balance as an option eventually. Never frickin' mind. Oh my goodness. I have to Force of Negation that. Or I lose. Cool, cool, cool. We're doing great. Everything's fine. They have an Overlord of the Boiler Bridges in play that I really cannot deal with effectively. And I have a Daze. Alright. Well, I don't know how much of a difference it would have made when we've drawn land like this, but we take 9 this turn. Maybe we can Daze a 6-drop. Or a 7-drop. Nope, they're just going to deal 9 to me. Okay. Yeah, I kind of did this one to myself, but I just don't think it would have made too much of a difference. But yeah, this is rough. Okay. You got me. Yeesh. FOMO is a must discard. I should have discarded FOMO and kept just land and V. Okay. What an awkward deck they have for us. It's just a lot of dudes. A lot of aggressive dudes. I think we run this back as is. Putting me on the play was surprising. I did not expect that. I don't know if that's right, but I mean, it worked for him. That was a game. I will choose to be on the play though, because I have starts like this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Turn 1 DRC into Chrome Mox Flage. Following turn, as is tradition, we shall wait to play the Chrome Mox because we're playing against green-red, which absolutely has ways to deal with it. Elves, awesome. I play Island, I play Chrome Mox, revealing a Memory Lapse on top, which I want. I shall get rid of Remand. Well, actually, Snapcaster Mage is probably weaker. And then I'm just going to Flage the Elves. I have a Tidebinder for most scary things. And next turn we're holding up Counter Magic. Plan here is to just never let them resolve another spell after whatever they play this turn. Play a Greaves. Yes! Because I can even turn that off with Tashana's Tidebinder when they go to equip it. But I don't intend to give them that opportunity. No thanks. Surveil one and then I'll draw a card. A Johnny? A Johnny. I really want to get this Flage in play. And Johnny's not the best here, because I need a land. Fairy Mastermind's better. You can play a 1-drop. No 1-drop. Okay. Land is great. Combat. We have Tidebinder and Memory Lapse now. Nope. You can try that again next turn again. This is rude. I don't really want to balance, right? Balance is interesting because I can make them like discard their whole hand by having my hand be empty, and then I'm just going to be flaging. That is a choice, but I don't think it's right. So we have instant sorcery creature. So land, artifact, planeswalker, fast bond. Oh my, but you have no lands. That's fun. 1 more damage. I cannot cast Flage yet. We need 1 more card in graveyard. Kavu. Sure. I will have to exile that. But first, I will counter the Lightning Greaves effect so that Lightning Greaves is turned off. It's equip 0, but it's still sorcery speed to equip things. So they cannot, in response, retry to equip it. And then I'll have to exile the Kabu. It does give them a land, but I need my graveyard. Mind Collapse, and then in response to that, I give you a land back. Ponder. That's pretty good. Next turn I'm going to Flage. Oh, I can't Flage. Okay, so Ponder's great, actually. Because I do actually need a way to find something to play. Because this only taps for blue, and Flage requires all the colors. So if we hit a red or a white land here, they're going to have Greaves, so Flame Slash is a lot worse now. Untapped blue land is bad. But if I take Lorien Revealed, I see. So I take Fable, and then next turn I can Flage. So I decline, I draw Fable. I play Fable with the Mirror Breaker, keeping Lorien Revealed on top. Swing for 1. And then Lorien Revealed goes and gets Hollowed Fountain. Crucible for that mountain in your graveyard. Zurin Orb, Infinite Life. Seer, sure. Okay. I may discard up to 2 cards to draw that many cards. Is Fairy Mastermind good here? Not really. I don't want to land though. So I submit 0. I Island Cycle for Hollowed Fountain. Shock in my Hollowed Fountain and get Phage in play. Alright, goal is to keep 1 of everything that we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Means I'm leaving creature, sorcery, instant, creature. We've already exiled Snapcaster, so it doesn't matter otherwise. Sure, we'll do it like that. Deal 3 to their face. Swing. Next turn we have Fable. Top deck Sneak Attack. Very scary, but they're dead. They're just dead to the board. 3 damage off Flage. And that's a wrap. That's our first draft of Arena Powered Cube. Little Jeskai mid-range control for the win. Slight mistakes in this last game, knocking the dust off for Arena Cube. But a confident victory. Well, 3-0 to start us off, 3-0-6-1. We'll do a deck review as we always do. Just talk a little bit about what worked, what didn't. And then we'll end the video. Claim all the cool rewards, but not the actual rewards. All right, so here we have some Jeskai control. We're playing best of 3. Our sideboard mattered so much. The cards that we really were considering sideboarding throughout the various games were here. These are the cards that I actively considered at various points. And Skull Clamp was our pack one pick one. We tried to build around it a little bit. It didn't really open up a path, and we ended up sideboarding it out most games. I still liked including it in the main board because it's so good against the creature strategies, but we faced a lot of like the red-green ramp strategies where Skull Clamp does not thrive. I need to be way more assertive on the board, and I had good sideboard cards to bring in as well. So we ended up cutting it more often than not, which is totally okay. And some of the cards that go with it, like Elite Spellbinder, also made the cut because Elite Spellbinder is best when you can use it for its other side, like blinking it or skull clamping it. And so for cutting skull clamp, it kind of goes with it. But the name of the game was pretty simple. We resolved one relatively important permanent, and then we just didn't let our opponent play the game through counter magic for most of the rest of the game. And if they did resolve something, our removal was just pristine. Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares, Flame Slash in the sideboard, and then Balance, Flage, Ang for resolved permanents to get them out of the way, Pyroglyph, and then of course Deshaun's Tidebinder to shut off activated triggered abilities is so strong in Arena Powered Cube. As you saw in many of our games, it just completely housed some of our opponents. And that was the deck. Really fun build, and I think the reason we ended up with a build this strong is simply because people were actively avoiding, really actively avoiding playing control strategies. We got like an 8th pick Force of Will, which should be a pack 1 pick 1 a certain percentage of the time, and easily in the first 3 picks of pack 1 taken almost always. It's hard to imagine free interaction, even in an aggressive deck, being worth passing. Blue isn't the most aggressive, but it does have really good support cards and a decent amount of aggressive flyers that I think maybe are a little underrated. Blue-white token and flyer strategies are quite real behind cards like Ang as well. Ang was a solid win condition multiple times. Pretty fun card. But yeah, that was the deck. A little bit of Jeskai mid-range control. Really happy with how we built this one. This is a real beater. And we did exactly what we set out to do. Control the early game, dominate the late game. If you like watching these Arena Cube drafts, or really just drafts in general, that's all we do on this channel. So I'd really appreciate if you subscribed. I'm also a small creator, so every subscription means a ton for me. And we're trying to get to 250, because at that point, I'll do another cooking video. Every benchmark for subscribers we hit, I do a recipe video. We already got one on the channel, so if you want to learn how to make chicken parmesan, that's up there because we hit 100, and 250, I already got plans for what I'm going to be making. Feel free to guess what you think I'm going to make in any of the comments on the videos, or in our Discord where we talk about vintage cube cards that are coming out for new sets, drafts, all the fun things. But more important than any of that, best of luck out there, chefs, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.